My professional background was in several fields. First of all, in music and in drama theater, and taking that into teaching. I am a first-generation American. My grandparents came from part of Ukraine now, but it was Russia at the time, and my grandmother was from part of Poland. And music was important. Grandpa played trombone in the Russian army. His sister was an opera singer in Russia. And music was always an important factor in our family. We had a piano in our dining room, and it was between two windows, and it was an old upright piano. And that's what I used to practice and to sing. I started very young as an entertainer. I was probably 4 years old when I took tap dancing lessons. I started piano lessons when I was 7. Grandpa and Grandma would be sitting around the radio, and I would sing on the radio every Sunday night. And Grandpa would sit there crying and wiping his tears, being so proud because his granddaughter could do that. My father talked to me, and I said, I want to go to college, and I want to be a music teacher. And he felt that women should be in the home, working, cooking, sewing, taking care of the children. And I wanted a career. So I said, Daddy, you know, I think I can do both. When I was in college, I had to find a summer job, so I worked. And my father took me to National Machine Products. I went there into the office. I was doing office work and replacing all the women that did office work that went on vacation. And we had to dress up for work. And in the 50s, you wore big skirts with slips, crinoline slips. And one of the workmen, his name was Denny, was working on the desk, and he says, come here. And I said, what is it? He says, psst, your slip is showing. I went into the ladies' room, and my slip wasn't showing at all. That was just his line to get to talk to me. And from that time on, Denny became my best friend, my boyfriend. And about a year later, he proposed, and we were married in July of 1959, and we were married 3 weeks, less than 50 years, when he passed away. But we had a wonderful life together. I graduated from college in June of 1959, and 1 month later I was married. And when Denny graduated in 1962, June, I graduated also with my master's degree. But in between, I did some teaching, not full-time, but just to keep up with the credentials and keep up so they knew. And I taught in Thousand Oaks for several years. In 1980, I became ill, and I had to have a surgery. But during the surgery, I stopped breathing, and the doctor was calling me back to come to help him. And I came back, and I was helping the doctor. In my mind, I could see myself there on the operating table. I came back for a reason. And so I have to have the courage to take these other steps that are scary at times. And I was in Los Angeles Unified School District, and just by chance, I got a job there because they ended forced busing, and the school was short 18 teachers. And then when the music teacher was retiring, I said, I want that job. And I put on a full-length musical in that middle school every year on stage that I was there. And then one year, I found out that we could go to New York for 5 days, and for the same amount of money, we could go to London for 10 days. And so that year, I took 27 middle school students ages 12 to 14 to England for 10 days. And the children grew. And a lot of them went on to high school. They all went into drama, and the drama teacher at Chatsworth High School was so happy that they went on there, and some went on professionally too. And I'm pleased with that. I hear from some every now and then. I heard about the Fulbright grants from Washington, D.C. And that was kind of a pivotal point in my professional career. I applied to Romania and Bulgaria, and I was one of 16 teachers that was selected to go to Romania and Bulgaria for the entire summer. And so what I had my students do was to write 2 plays. One, the story of the real Dracula that I told them, and the second one, the story of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And we put on these plays back to back on Halloween. And the scripts for that is still in the archives, educational archives in Washington, D.C. In 2002, I received the Fulbright grant to go to Turkey. So that was a wonderful experience. It's one of my favorite places to go. They wanted to see how Turkey would be because it's half in the east and half in the west, and how it's going to manage in the 21st century. In 2003, they asked me to go to Japan. And so I went with a group of 200 teachers to Japan for the summer. In Japan, my students made masks, no theater, N-O-H, no theater masks, to go with some of their drama theater, and we used them in our programs. We had such a wonderful time, and I made lifetime friends in all 3 countries that I had the Fulbright grants. And then in 1999, I heard that New York was looking for singers because they wanted to have the first chorus that was using computers. You'd rehearse on the computers together, and the conductor was from England, and he was going to come over here, and then was going to be a performance at Carnegie Hall with the New York Symphony Orchestra. And that was thrilling for me because friends from the Fulbright came from all over the country and other countries. They came to watch me perform in that performance. And I remember walking on that stage and thinking about my father and grandfather in the history of the family, and how proud they would be that I came that far, you know, in a generation from people that didn't have that here. I think I achieved things that I never thought as a younger person that I could ever achieve. And I think having this surgery when I stopped breathing, and that experience, and deciding from that point in 1980, I wanted to do more because life is so short. People ask me, which countries do you like the best? And everyone is unique. Everyone is beautiful, has something wonderful about it. But the best thing about each country that I've been to, all 59, are the people that I meet and what they teach me and the love that they give. And then I can give it back too. And some of them, I've been happy that they could come to my home and visit me in my home, and I can show them my country.